I've seen America's weapons. I've seen China's. I've studied the tech, the numbers, the reach. But when I looked at India, I saw something different. Something shocking. Not because India had the most expensive weapons, but because India had weapons no one expected. Weapons born not just from budgets, but from brilliance. Today I want to reveal to you the 10 Indian weapons, some military, some technological, some spiritual, that left even the world's greatest superpowers speechless. Because you see, the West always assumed India was behind, too poor, too slow, too complicated. But they never saw the storm coming, and now it's here, silent, smart, unstoppable. Weapon Fei 1 the BrHMOS missile? You know what's scary? Not just speed, but precision sus speed. That's BrahMos. The world's fastest supersonic cruise missile. A joint venture between India and Russia. It flies at Mach 3. That's 3 times the speed of sound. Low altitude. Radar evading. Deadly accurate. Even US analysts admitted, if BrahMos is launched, you won't see it coming. And India can deploy it from land, sea, air, and soon, submarines. America wasn't just shocked. They were studying it. Weapon A2, the INSARIAANT nuclear submarine. Most nations that hold nuclear weapons keep them above water. India keeps one beneath the ocean, moving silently. INS Arihant is India's first indigenously built nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine. It ensures India's second strike capability. Meaning if India is ever attacked first, it can still end the attacker. This is balance. This is strategy. And yes, it left global defense experts stunned. Because India didn't boast, it just built. Weapon A3. Chandrayaan-3 moon landing on a budget. When the world spends billions to reach the moon, India reached it with one of the lowest budgets in space history. Now, 75 million. That's less than what Hollywood spends on a superhero movie. India became the first country to land on the moon's south pole. And it did so with grace, humility, and unmatched efficiency. NASA watched. Elon Musk congratulated. The world realized India doesn't waste. It executes. This wasn't just a scientific feat. It was a declaration. We're here. And we'll do it our way. Weapon 5 the AGN-IV missile, long-range precision, the Agni-Vs, is India's intercontinental ballistic missile with a range of over 5,000 kilometers. It can reach most of Asia, Europe, even parts of the US, but India has never used it to threaten. Instead, it says, we don't attack, but we will never be bullied. That calm confidence, that quiet capability, that's what shakes superpowers. Because real power isn't loud, it's ready. Weapon and 5 the TEJAS fighter jet. India didn't just buy jets from other countries, it built its own. Tejas is India's light combat aircraft. Agile, fast, combat proven. Fully Indian, made in India, made for the future. Pilots call it the pocket rocket. Enemies call it unexpected. The West realized India no longer buys tech. It creates it. And creation is a weapon more dangerous than acquisition. Weapon Fate 6 AAD Advanced Air Defense System. You think only America and Israel have advanced missile defense. Think again. India developed the AAD interceptor, capable of detecting and destroying incoming ballistic threats. In other words, if someone fires a missile at India, India can shoot it down mid-air. Clean, silent, powerful. It's part of India's two-tiered defense shield, and it's still evolving. You don't hear much about it, because India doesn't hype its defenses. It owns them. Weapon Phase 7A. Radiram, India's anti-radiation missile. This one made global militaries take notice. Radiram is India's first indigenous anti-radiation missile. Designed to destroy enemy radars, communication hubs, jamming systems. In short, before your missile even launches, India blinds you. And the best part, it's air-launched, meaning it comes from the sky fast, accurate, and unseen. No drama, just dominance. Weapon Hayate DRDO's electronic warfare suite. This isn't a missile. It's something more powerful. Information. India's DRDO developed advanced electronic warfare EW systems that can jam, deceive, or confuse enemy systems. In modern warfare, it's not just about firepower. It's about who controls the signal. India has built an invisible shield. One that protects and attacks using code, frequency, and precision. America saw it. And they were stunned, because this wasn't expected from a developing country. But India, it develops everything it needs. Weapon 590, cyber warfare and AI defense programs. India has one of the world's fastest growing cyber defense infrastructures. From protecting billions of Aadhaar identity records, to deploying AI in border surveillance, to launching digital strikes against infiltration attempts, India's digital soldiers are as elite as its physical ones. And here's the twist, many of them are under 30. Young minds, old souls, unstoppable spirit. The US cyber community is watching. China is nervous. And India is coding. Weapon 530. The Indian soldier spirit. Now let me tell you the weapon that shocked the world more than any machine. The Indian soldier. A man who survives 14,000 feet altitudes at Sachin. Who fights with courage in snowstorms without complaint. Who doesn't fight for conquest, but for duty. Whether it's the Kargil War, surgical strikes, UN peacekeeping, the Indian soldier moves with one mantra. I will protect even if it costs my breath. You can't program that. You can't replicate that. You can't defeat that. And that is India's deadliest weapon of all. This is what the West never understood. They thought India was slow. They thought India was outdated. But India wasn't behind. India was building, quietly, patiently, brilliantly. And now, the world is speechless. You see, weapons don't just win wars. They reveal intent. They show who you are. When you look at the weapons India has built, you realize something the West still hasn't understood. India is not preparing for war. India is preparing for respect. Because India doesn't crave dominance. It demands dignity. Every system, every jet, every missile. It's not built to conquer. It's built to say, we will never be pushed again. And that mindset, it's more powerful than any bomb. America was shocked by India's weapons, but by how India uses them. You won't see India threatening its neighbors on Twitter. You won't hear India boasting in front of cameras. You won't see Indian leaders waving missiles in parades. Because India is not interested in fear. India is committed to balance. And balance requires strength. But don't make the mistake of confusing calm with weakness. India has proved again and again that when the line is crossed, it responds with precision. Think of the surgical strikes. Think of Balakot. Fast, clean, decisive. And after that, India didn't beat its chest. It went back to work. That shocked the world. Because power without ego is the rarest kind. There's another reason these 10 weapons made the world stop and stare. India built most of them itself. That's what America couldn't believe. They thought India was just a buyer. But India is now a builder, a creator. With programs like Make in India and bold steps in defense R&D, India has made one thing very clear. It will not depend on anyone. Not for weapons. Not for software. Not for space. And when a nation learns to make its own fire, it no longer fears the dark. But let me tell you something more shocking than missiles and machines. Something America is only just beginning to realize. India's most powerful weapon isn't made of steel. It's made of spirit. Let me explain. Go to any Indian border. Stand with a soldier. Watch him face the cold, the threat, the enemy. You'll notice something. He doesn't talk about hatred. He talks about duty. He says, I'm here for my people. I'm here for my land. I'm here because I believe. That belief is what superpowers can't manufacture. It's what they can't predict. It's what they can't defeat. India's power comes from its collective faith. Faith in its motherland. Faith in its heritage. Faith in its right to peace. You can fund weapons. You can build labs. But you can't buy soul. And India's soul is indestructible. Let's talk about something else that shocked America. The youth of India. These aren't just soldiers with guns. These are coders with vision. Inventors with purpose. Dreamers with tools. Every year, India produces over 1 million engineers, thousands of defense scientists, countless cyber warriors. They're not just joining big tech firms. They're building India's next generation defense. From AI, powered drone swarms, to hypersonic missile development, to quantum encryption prototypes. They're pushing boundaries even the Pentagon is watching. And they're not loud. They're focused. They don't care for limelight. They care for legacy. That's the new India. Disciplined, determined, dangerous, only when provoked. You ask me, why did these weapons shock America? Because America expected a follower. But India emerged as an original, a nation that doesn't need to imitate, because it's rediscovering its ancient genius. Remember, India once pioneered surgery, algebra, metallurgy, astronomy, long before the West was even born. That DNA never disappeared. It just waited. And now it's waking up again with 21st century tools and a 5,000-year-old soul. That is terrifying for any superpower that relies only on machines. Because India comes with something more. Meaning, let me say something bold, and let the world hear it. India is not preparing to